Hey, this is just a quick review for Our Shimmering Skies by Australian author Trent Dalton. I haven't read his first novel, Boy Swallows Universe, but I hear it's fantastic and it has lots of critical acclaim for it as well. So I'd like to read that in the near future. Our Shimmering Skies is set in Darwin around the 1942 bombing by Japanese forces. It's about a young 12-year-old girl. I think she might turn 13, I'm not sure. She's a grave digger and she works alongside her husband. Yeah, because all 12-year-old girls are getting married in Darwin in the 40s. She works alongside her uncle Horace and her... oh my god, I'm getting everything wrong. She works with her dad and her uncle Horace and Aubrey. She is visited by the ghost of her mother, or she imagines her, and her mum tells her to look to the sky. She also tells her about a particular curse that has been put upon the family, as their grandfather, Molly's grandfather, essentially took some treasure, gold from Longcoat Bob. God, see, it already sounds crazy. It is an Aboriginal elder / sorcerer. Her grandfather, I believe, did return the gold, but she believes it turned her family's hearts into stone, that they died earlier than they should have, etc., etc., which is partly hearsay and partly off her imagination, I think. It deals with a lot of the technique of magical realism by the author, which might work better for some. A series of events lead Molly on a journey. It's very much this kind of coming of age, parable type journey feel to it, aka Wizard of Oz if you like. I wouldn't be surprised if that sort of framework was used for this type of a Bildungsroman, if that's how you say it. But she finds herself on a journey with her uncle's girlfriend Greta, who wants to be a famous actress, and also a fallen Japanese pilot who can't speak really any English, and he becomes their saviour and friend. I think there's probably a lot of symbolism in here. Some of it is avert, some of it is more subvert. Basically, she's trying to break the curse, find Longcoat Bob, the Aboriginal sorcerer. She's very curious and ingenious and quirky, but sometimes tediously so. There's a lot of internal dialogue that's written by the author for Molly's character, which is sometimes a little over the top for me and apparently some other readers as well when I've been looking on Goodreads online. She has a good heart, but I wish some of maybe her internal thoughts and the repetition of thoughts. Dig, Molly, dig, look to the skies, Molly. Oh, far out, can you say it 50 more times? I can't do. Could have been modified, would have been nice. It's not something that I would have ordinarily read either. I have heard about Trent Dalton and the acclaim of his first novel, and then some friends were reading this, so I thought I would give it a go. I'm pleased that I was reading something different. I'm pleased I was reading something Australian and also about Australia. Although I just wish that maybe some of those Australian parallels and the subtext of what he's getting at of colonisation of Australia and whose land it is and who took it and who it belongs to, and that it belongs to all of us, or it doesn't belong to anyone rather. I just wish some of that came through a bit more strongly in the writing. In fact, it wasn't until, it must have been about halfway through an over 400-page novel, 430-page novel, about halfway through, that I actually started to get some of those parallels of Australia's history of colonisation, etc., that come through essentially the gold being taken by her ancestors, Molly's ancestors, from the Aboriginal sorcerer, and that the land belongs to no one, like the gold similarly belongs to no one. And it took me, maybe I'm slow, or maybe it doesn't come through the writing strongly enough. I think it's good to have subtext, but it needs to come through more strongly to give you a fuller, bigger picture of, I think, what Dalton's intentions are for this novel. It's very ambitious. It's extremely ambitious. It's part action thriller in places and whimsical in others. Some people I think are going to really like it and love it and respond to it. I myself struggled with the first half, and then the second half I found I got myself a bit more immersed in it and was able to suspend my disbelief. But as you know, I like a bit more realism. It doesn't mean things can't be fantastical or have things in it that aren't real or might not happen in real life, but there has to be rooted in a kind of believability. And there's perhaps a bit too much magical realism in it for me. It's a fantastic cover, isn't it? Of the Australian wattle. Anyway, for me it's over stylised. I recommend you read it if you like Australian fiction, just to see what it's like. I mean, he's going to get loads of readers anyway. But I'm also looking forward to reading Boy Swallows Universe, which I have at home, and yeah, I have heard very good things of that from a few friends and online, etc., and critical acclaim. Unfortunately, I can only give all Our Shimmering Skies 2.5 stars. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.